You know, when you think of 11,000 years, you probably think of flying cars, time travel, traveling to Mars, moon boots, all them type of shabazz. But unfortunately, this user got sentenced to 11,000 years behind bars. I'm going to keep it real. As soon as the judge says to me 11,000 years, I'm biting on that cyanide capsule and I'm calling it good night. I'm done. The judge thinks I'm serving out that time. Now, unless the judge thinks that I'm going to serve out that time and my family members are going to serve it out for me as well, because I'm not going to live to be 100. So how am I going to do 11,000 years? I'm going to start asking the judge questions like, why they're dragging me out by cuffs? I got to ask the judge, well, do you think my relatives, my children's children have to serve the time? Unless I'm in the box and you think I'm serving time in the afterlife with Hades, there's no way this can work. It doesn't make any sense to me. The judge must have been on a perk. They must be off a perk. That's only consumption. That's the only thing that I can think of that makes sense. Well, in my head anyway, because I don't know what's going on in my head. It's like a circus, mate. So anyway, yeah, Turkish crypto boss sentenced to 11,000 years in jail. Well, to be precise, 11,196 years in jail after stealing $2 billion. The CEO of former Turkish crypto exchange Thodex, Faruk Fatih Ozer, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, probably pronounced that wrong, has been sentenced to 11,000 years in jail after stealing $2 billion from customers. The Turkish exchange Thodex suddenly went offline in April 2021, and the CEO, Faruk, went missing, leaving more than 400k members without access to their combined $2 billion in funds. He was found and arrested in Albania in 2022. On September the 7th, 2023, Ozer was sentenced to over 11,000 years in jail for fraud. You see me? I would have pissed myself, shat my pants, passed out. That's it. I'm done. Like I said, unless there's no way I'm serving that in jail, I'd rather serve that in hell. It's like I'll just bite on that cyanide capsule. The judge was off a bean. They must have thought, you know what? Yeah, that. Like, unless they're just trying to make they're really trying to have their stance on that. You shouldn't be doing this type of stuff, period. Like, if it was a heinous crime this guy's doing, murder, other stuff, I'd understand. But like fraud, I'm like, yeah, don't get me wrong. Do the crime, serve the time and all that shabazz. But 11,000 years. I don't know what's going on. The judge was thinking that, my guy's going to try and serve the time that the earth's been around. Like, it doesn't make any sense. Yeah, and precisely, it's 11,000 years, 196 years. So it's 11,196 years, 10 months, and 15 years in prison. They just added on the 15 years and said, yeah, your teenage years? Yeah, that. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. So he's been sentenced on various charges, including fraud, leading a crime organization, and money laundering, all stemming from the now collapsed crypto exchange Thodex. Ozer's 2 siblings were also sentenced in connection to what happened with the exchange. Oh, yeah. It's tough, man. It's looking tough. Like I said, I would have screamed and then passed out, and then somehow woken up and then screamed. I can't be doing that. I don't want to serve any time in prison, regardless. And if it's fraud, I'm just going to be thinking, okay, yeah, I can get off maybe, I don't know, 15 years, 20 years, maybe. And then the judge says 11,000. I'm like, it's not April the 1st. Like, we can't be pulling pranks. There's no way. The judge was happy with that and said, you know what? No, that's healthy. Hold that. That's what the judge needs to say. As soon as they put their hammer down, said, "Oh, that," and then walks off. I'm like, what? What do you mean? Why the security's dragging me away? I'm just screaming. Like that animal from Crash Bandicoot. What's that character called? That's always in a straitjacket. I can't remember what they're called. Hold on. Crash Bandicoot. Yeah, they think I'm Ripperoo. Ripperoo, the character that's always in the straitjacket, absolute nut. Yeah. He was restrained with a straitjacket after his creation by Neocortex. I didn't know that. Yeah, but Ripperoo, that's what they would think I am, because I would just have lost my mind. I would have lost my marbles. I've never heard anything like this. Apparently, there has been a sentence before where someone was sentenced to a long time. Yeah, it was Adnan Oktar, a TV cult preacher, was jailed for 8,000 years in 2022 for fraud and sex crimes. 10 of his followers received the same sentence. See? Sex crimes. I get that. You know what I mean? Bury him under the jail. I get it. But just for fraud. I'm like, hey, was it really fraud? Or did those individuals that got scammed, it was their fault? I don't know. The lines are getting blurred. I don't want anybody to lose out on their money, but when the judge is giving me them 5-figure sentences in years, I gotta ask questions though, you know what I mean? I gotta ask questions, but yeah, apparently Thodex was founded in 2017 and was the country's largest exchange for virtual currencies. I don't know. Like I said, there's times where there's crimes being committed here and the sentence is so light, it doesn't really, it shows that like the judicial system like doesn't care about actually serving like a proper sentence. It's just like 15-20 years. I'm just like, that's light. Sometimes people here get more sentence for selling like cannabis than they do for committing a heinous crime, and I'm just like, that's arse backwards. I'm like, who's coming up with these? I'm telling you, the jabronis in charge aren't making any sense. The laws that are being passed aren't making any sense, and I think it will just continue though. I think it will just continue. No one's really in a way to change anything or any incentive to do it. They don't really care, so it's just bizarre. But yeah, like I said, I can't do it. I don't want to serve any time in prison. The only time like I want to be a prisoner is in my mind. That's it. That's all I wanted to do. At times, yeah, it's just it's odd. When I read it, I thought, nah, there's no way. 11K. You know, put 11K into my bank account, but don't be expecting me to spend 11,000 years behind bars. I'll rot. You're gonna rot in jail. You know what I mean? They're gonna be burying me after like the first 50 years, and what my great grandchildren's children, what are they gonna serve the time for me? That's what it's looking like. But yeah, the whole thing's bizarre, but I don't know, reality stranger than fiction.